We meet our protagonist, Medea, who at this point is mourning the loss of her husband, Jason. Jason, if you remember, is this guy who stole the Golden Fleece way back in the day. Medea actually helped him steal the Golden Fleece and in return was kind of exiled from her house and stuff. Anyways, together, 2 sons and settled in Corinth. Everything was fine until Jason decided to marry the daughter of King Creon, the ruler of Corinth, because she was wealthier and had a higher social standing. And so he was like, yo, I need that. And so he left her. And so she's obviously devastated. She pleads for the gods to help her ease her suffering and pain. And she's cursing her husband and his new wife and like in public also cursing the king, which the king is not happy with. So he's angry with Medea, exiles her and tells her to get out of Corinth and never come back. Medea begs him to let her stay, but he refuses because obviously he's, all in a mood. And so she persuades him to let her have one more day to find refuge for her and her sons, because out of the goodness of his heart, Jason is letting her keep her sons. Oh my gosh. So Creon allows her to do this, and then Jason appears and basically tells her that she's overreacting and is causing herself problems, including being exiled through her tantrums, quote unquote, even though he is the one that decided to leave her with no notice. He claims he has no ill will for her and will take care of her and their sons, despite his new wife and family. Like this will somehow make her feel better. Medea, as you might imagine, is not pleased and tells Jason that he forced her to betray her family, took her from her home, and then abandoned her for this new woman, in which Jason fires back and says, hey, I made your life better than it could have ever been if you had not met me, and my marriage is meant to improve your life and our sons' lives. Like, I'm doing this for you, not as a punishment to you. And he insinuates she should be thanking him for his sacrifice to the honor of their family. She should accept his plan, while painful, is beneficial to everyone involved. Medea refuses any aid from Jason because Jason's like, I'll send you money and like put you in contact with my friends. And she's like, no. It's like, fine. I'm going to leave and I'm going to give up on trying to sway you. And also I'm not going to talk to the king about letting you stay. Medea goes to the king Agus of Athens to give her and her children safe harbor. And he feels bad for her. And so then he's like, dude, I want to help you. And so then she's like, oh, I'm going to take revenge. And so she decides she's going to send her sons with gifts to the castle for the princess, which are secretly laced with poison. So when she touches them, she will die. So she goes back to Corinth and she tricks Jason into thinking she's forgiven him. She regrets her actions. She apologizes and is like, hey, can you go ask the king to let me stay? And he's like, oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, okay, I'll try. And so then she also sends her sons with him with the gifts to give to the princess. She accepts the gifts and promptly dies because they're poisoned. And then the king tries to save her, and then he dies because he touched her. And Jason is obviously furious. He's like, you just killed my wife and the king and da-da-da. And so he runs home to Medea, and her sons are there too. And so he's like, dude, come out and talk to me. Like, you just killed my wife and the king, and like, what is wrong with you? You're an awful human being. And then he's like, where are my sons? And Medea's like, oh, I killed them. And so Jason is like, dude, what do you mean? Like, that's so wicked and cruel. Like, why did you kill our children? Like, they did nothing wrong. As painful as it is that she killed her children, who she loves dearly, this was her way of getting what she wanted, which was to cause Jason as much suffering and pain as he had done to her. He had taken everything from her. And so she took everything from him. And so Medea fled to Athens by the sun god's chariot and remained there. The end.